Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News, a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, first thing we're going to talk about this week, straight from the title and thumbnail of this video, is that the Olympic skate park has been revealed. Now, before I go into talking about this thing, you're seeing a picture of it right now. I do want to point out that the qualifying for BMX all took place on like the FISE style ramps. And then we get pictures of the Olympic skate park and it's a concrete bowl. So I don't know if there's going to be a separate course for BMX or what. And I'm not claiming that this is the BMX course for the Olympics. But what I will say is that this is what we got. And this is officially an Olympic skate park that is going to be used for the Olympics. So it's worth taking a look at regardless. And I'm going to cycle through some pictures here in the corner so you guys can see them. But the skate park looks insane. It looks huge and it looks like it would be perfect to have a Vans BMX Pro Cup in. But if this is the BMX course for the Olympics, it's possible that it's going to trip up some of the riders who qualified on totally different ramps. I mean, I don't really see a box jump, like a traditional box jump built into this course whatsoever. And that is like one of the huge features that is almost always in one of the FISE events in the qualifying contests to get to the Olympics. So it's entirely possible that someone like Hannah Roberts is a little bit tripped up by something like this because it's totally different than what she's prepared for and qualified on leading up to this point. Whereas someone like Paris Benegas, who rides stuff like this quite regularly, at least that's the impression that I get from the different stuff that we see, it's possible that this could shake things up if this ends up being the course for the Olympics in freestyle BMX. I have no idea though, like I said previously, so if it is, I hope we find out soon, and if it's not, I really hope we find out soon, because if I'm someone who is actually going to be competing here, the second I saw this course, I would be planning runs out and trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to do. And if you put that time into this course and then we find out that the BMX one is not this one, it could be wasted time, wasted energy, wasted stress, and stress is definitely not something that anyone going to the Olympics needs more of. It seems like it would be a lot of pressure, and it's definitely a huge deal. So let me know what you guys think of this course in the comments down below. The skate course is on there as well, but obviously BMX Street isn't in this one, so I would really highly doubt that they would have anything to do with BMX on the street side of this course, but it's worth talking about. Then after that, X Games Real BMX 2021 did come out on Monday this week, and I did a live stream watching and reacting live to all of the parts, so you can check that out if you want to. But just to run through things, in this contest we've got Jake Seeley with filmer Mike Mastroni, Felix Prangenberg with David Schaller, Julian Molina with Daryl Taco, Brock Rayford with Zach Kramus, Chad Curley with Andrew Knight, and Courage Adams with Raphael Black. And I'm going to be honest, in that stream I had a very tough time picking a top three, and I don't even really like my top three for like solidarity anymore. I just don't know. So let me know your guys' picks for the top three in X Games Real BMX, as well as who you think's gonna win fan favorite. Do you think Julian Molina's gonna make it into the top three, potentially winning this one this year? Is he gonna get fan favorite again, or is somebody else gonna take both those spots? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm very curious because all of these videos are very, very different. Brock Rayford went more burly than anybody else did. Felix Prangenberg went on a whole new like Garrett Reynolds level of tech that no one else did. Then Jake Seeley's hitting unique, crusty looking spots that nobody else really rode anything like, and doing combos. He literally had a combo, if you watch these, the orange ledge combo is the best trick and combo of the entire contest. Then you got Julian Molina doing a bit of everything, going burly, getting a little bit tech, doing a backflip in the streets. Chad Curley was Chad Curley, and Courage Adams was Courage Adams. Front and rear end balance, going pretty big. A lot of the stuff that Courage Adams did led me to believe that he was my pick in the live stream. He also was the only one that had a concept in his video. So yeah, let me know who you guys got for top three as well as fan favorite in the comments down below. And then there was the news of this massive contest that's going to be going down in Ukraine. So I don't really know a ton about this thing. You can see the course rendering right here. It's called the Double Triple Contest. It's going down in Kyiv, Ukraine. And the prize pool is as follows. First through 7th place gets money. First gets 3,000 euros. Second gets 1,500 and third gets 1,000. And there's a ton of information about this on a write-up over on bmxunion.com, linked in the description down below, that you guys can check out if you want to. I think it's cool that this is happening, and they're obviously trying to draw a crowd out, and it's going down in 2 parts: the Ukrainian Nationals on August 13th and the International Contest on August 14th through 15th. Interesting. The location of the contest stays the same. Moving on from there, we've got a few videos to talk about this week. Not a ton. It's kind of crazy. This is the first time we haven't been completely overloaded by videos in quite a while. So we had Grant Castelluso's 2021 We the People edit. Grant C has a very distinctive style of riding, and if you're a fan of that, you're going to be a fan of this video. It's over 4 minutes long, or no, just under 4 minutes long. So Grant C, you know what you're in for with his riding. You know that he always shreds, and if you're into his style of riding, you're gonna want to check this one out. Then we had 2 videos that were a little bit longer and a little bit less edit style. The first is BMX in an airport with Brock Rayford, and Brock is kind of just taking us through the experience of riding BMX in an airport. Literally, they built like a course in an airport, and Brock is riding around in the airport and showing us everything and talking through the entire video. Then we had one with Lewis Mills from Eclat called In Between Weeks, and this one is basically like if you just filmed with your iPhone a whole bunch of stuff and then threw it all together in a timeline raw, and it was 10.5 minutes long. That's pretty much what this one feels like. So there's pretty much everything in here, from behind the scenes of life vlog type stuff. He's not talking to the camera, but stuff like that, to riding and just all kinds of different things in a 10.5 minute long video. The BMX in an airport video is just under 8 minutes long. So if you guys want a little bit longer of videos, those are there for you. Then we've got some product related things to talk about. First, we've got Chase Hawk's signature Etnies slip-on colorway, a 1-minute promo for that, followed by Dennis Enerson's signature Vans slip-ons. And we've got Sabrosa's Young Rose frame. So Sabrosa's Young Rose frame, it's a full 4130 chromoly frame with an 18.5-inch top tube, and you can find all of the other information about it at the link in the description down below on BMX Union. And then after that, we have the next episode in the S&M Bikes Factory Fridays series. This one's called CNC Machined, and just like before, this is basically like a vlog going through the factory of everything that's going on in a given particular time. Starts out with receiving some material, some frame material, and then going through some hub guard material and showing that, and then showing some stem caps and all kinds of different stuff that is just going on at S&M in the building. And once again, I'll say it again, I love this series. I love that S&M is just putting this out there and showing exactly what's going on at the factory, because I feel like that's something that people would want to see. Just exactly what's going on, because in years past, BMX and everything that goes on behind the scenes is like this Wizard of Oz type thing, where everybody sees what the companies want them to see, but then what goes on behind the scenes is anybody's guess, and only people within the industry itself know about it. And seeing the behind the scenes of things like this can give people a personal connection and see like exactly what's going on at a company to decide whether or not they want to buy their products. And S&M has been around for so long that they're already reputable. They don't need anything like this to get people to want to buy their stuff, but this can make people even more of a fan of S&M, get them even more hyped when they see the people making the products and the people packaging the products and receiving the material and just everything that goes into the behind the scenes and making the stuff that they're riding on their bikes. And I just think this is awesome, and it's like the most minimal effort possible needed to make this happen. The guy's just walking around like, here's what's going on. And then throughout, you just have people like talking about certain things and holding stuff up and showing it and giving some explanation. And I guess that's all you really need if you're gonna do something like this. No frills, no fancy editing or camera work. It just is what it is. And I think that's what makes it so great. Then we've got some interview things to talk about this week, transitioning perfectly from the products. We've got Clint Miller's video bike check. Clint Miller is the owner of Colony, if you didn't know. So if you want to check out what he's riding on his bike, Definitely check that one out. Then after that, we've got episode number 2 of the Scene Builders series with the Hallahans. This one's called The Hallahans Meet the Potosnies. The Potosny brothers are the guys who helped build the wheel mill and the famous Woods jump room. And the Hallahans and the Potosnies, if you guys didn't know, are both Pittsburgh locals. The Hallahans are like the next generation up and coming, maybe even a few generations after the Potosnies as far as numbers go. But it's really awesome to see the Hallahans interviewing the Potosnies at the wheel mill about the wheel mill and the place that they both find refuge at in the winter time to ride. They talk a lot about the Woods jump room and kind of the thought process that went into it and making it as good as it is. And if you haven't had the opportunity to ride there, the Woods jump room at the wheel mill is the best wooden jump line that I've ever ridden in my life. It is so easy to jump these big box jumps and ride as if they're trails, and they just put you exactly where you need to go. Anyone can jump them even though they're big, and it's because they're built so well. They kind of talk about some of that and all kinds of other stuff in this video, and I just genuinely thought it was awesome. It had a great vibe, great music to go with it, and everything just felt great. Pretty simple. Then after that, we've got a written interview with Brandon Began. It's his Pro Part Q&A over on Our BMX. Questions surrounding his Pro Part that recently came out, and a lot of behind the scenes stuff with that. And then we've got another video interview with Vital BMX and Olympian. This time we've got Nikita Ducaro. That's how you say her last name. We learned that in the interview. And this one talks a lot about the preparation for the Olympics, strategy with the Olympics, representing Switzerland, her coach, plans post-Olympics, and more, and that's just what it says in the highlights of it. I listened to this entire thing, and just like all of the other ones, Kyle Carlson did a fantastic job with this interview and a lot of pertinent questions to the Olympics and just Nikita in general. And I definitely think that anyone who is following the Olympics and the riders in it and their journey would be interested in listening to this one. But with that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts on the first skate park that we showed that could be the BMX course for the Olympics, or anything else that I talked about in today's video. I want to thank you guys for being here and watching, and if you're new here or you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button while you're down below leaving that comment, and hopefully that'll mean we'll see you tomorrow for another one. See ya.